Hello and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another episode of TEW 2020 WWE. Now, before I begin this episode, I will just say again that challenges are now open. The challenge video, go on the channel. I'll link it at the top of the description down below as well, if I can remember to. If not, it's just the last video, pretty much. It's one of the last videos on the channel. You'll see it says challenges are open. It's a very clear thumbnail. Trick Williams holding the detail. That'll catch your eye. So you can go there if you haven't commented your challenges already and comment them. Give me challenges. Tell me. Force me into doing what you would like to see through the challenges. I'll probably keep them open for a hot minute. I don't know when I'll close them. They're the opening challenges. I want to give people time, so I'll probably leave it a couple of weeks. I might even wait till bragging rights, who knows. But, not bragging rights, the next pay-per-view live events are October ones. But, without further ado, I've talked too much. Bragging rights have come and gone. Smackdown won with 3 points. Raw and NXT both got 1 complete point, and then a lot of arguments around the Mandy Rose situation, cashing in to become the NXT Women's Champion, and winning the triple threat, making it a fatal 4-way, meaning she won the NXT title, so she was shipped in NXT. Raw Superstar, she was it's a whole mess, but SmackDown 1 is the overarching theme of bragging rights. I hope you've seen that video. And so yeah, without further ado, let's just jump into the build-up to our next October Premium Live Event special, shall we? Starting, as always, with another episode of Monday Night Raw. And Monday Night Raw gets underway with Triple H and his chosen coming out to the ring. The WWE Champion Kevin Owens, the Raw Tag Team Champions Cole and Bella, Seth Rollins, the sole survivor, apt bragging rights for Team Raw, and Andrade as well. And they come down to the ring, and of course they're in a celebratory mood. Kevin Owens, you know, he didn't win bragging rights, but you know, look, I should rephrase it. Seth Rollins is in a celebratory mood. Because Raw didn't win, but Seth did, and Seth's very happy. He stood tall, he showed everyone what they should have known all wrong, that Seth freaking Rollins is the best this business got. Seth Rollins, very much happy, and Triple H saying, alright. Let's just get to things, okay? Because I've been waiting for weeks for an answer, and I'm tired of waiting. So, Randy Orton, why don't you come out here right now and tell me, is it yes or is it no? When out comes Drew McIntyre, the Intercontinental Champion, making his way out to the ring. And Drew gets on the mic and saying, I know I'm not Randy Orton. I know I'm not the man you were hoping for. It always gets so Irish, doesn't it? But Drew McIntyre saying that he is the man with the Intercontinental Championship, and he says it's not Survivor Series yet. Says that's 8 weeks away, and says he knows he has to kick at least one more ass before he gets his irons on Kevin Owens and that WWE Championship if he's still holding it. I keep trying for it, it's still Irish. And Drew McIntyre saying that, you know, essentially just pointing out, Intercontinental Champion, come Survivor Series, he will have the chance to activate Option C, and cash in his Intercontinental title for a shot at the WWE Championship. Just making clear. And Triple H telling him that yes, okay, you're not Orton. But you're right. You will have the opportunity, but you won't just have to kick one ass, Drew. Because there's a lot of people who want a shot at the WWE Championship. So you want to have the opportunity to cash in for it. You're going to have to defend that title in a fatal 4-way match. And Drew's Drew, so he says, alright then. And he leaves. I have voices in my head, they counsel me, they understand, they talk to me. When out comes Randy Orton, finally. Randy Orton does come out. And Triple H saying, alright, well, I've given you time. I've been patient, but what's it going to be? You're finally going to come home to me, reunite just like we always do, take a seat at my table. And Randy Orton saying that, Hunter, I know how you do things a certain way. I know you pick certain people so you can do things your certain way. Now, what happened at bragging rights, I didn't like that very much at all. Seth Rollins costing Pete Dunne like that, I didn't like that very much at all. But I know the type of people you choose. I was one of them. I was the first superstar that Triple H chose. And you want me to take a seat back at the table, Hunter, but you know the Randy Orton doesn't play second fiddle. Randy Orton isn't a backup dancer in someone else's boy band. He's the lead. So you want me to take a seat at that table, Hunter? You know I'll be taking my seat at the head of it as the WWE champion. And Triple H, you know, laughing. Kevin Owens holding that title maybe a bit closer. Seth not very happy with the comments of him either. And Triple H saying, hell, you know what? You didn't like how Seth did things. You want a shot at the WWE Championship? Well, let's sort it all out then. Because, Orton, like I said, you eat good at my table. You get chances. You get opportunities. And you know that. And you'll get your first one tonight. Main event, you versus Seth Rollins. I know you've had your own problems in the past as well. So I'm sure that'll feel good. And Triple H saying, main event, Seth Rollins, Randy Orton. And the winner will get a shot at the WWE Championship. Kevin Owens clutching that title maybe a bit tighter. Seth very, very happy at that. And Randy happy as well, walking away for a 100. Good opening segment. Yeah, happy with that. Nice little opening segment just to get things going, isn't it? Good. As then, what do we have next? Oh, we have a little promo package from everyone's favorite university, Chase U. And Chase U. Andre Chase says that he's arranged with the general manager Drake Maverick for Chase U to have some exhibition matchups so they can showcase all of Chase U's good works. They've been training hard and working hard. They've been studying the books for months and months, and it's finally time for Chase U to get out there and show what they got for 27. Yeah, they all got to get built up. But yeah, Chase U exhibition matches coming up. Before they come up, though, we show Toxic Attraction arriving in style. A limo pulls up, and first comes out the women's tag champs Jacy Jayne, Gigi Dolan, and then followed by the new NXT Women's Champion Mandy Rose. All very happy as they begin to waltz away from their limo for 78. Good. Toxic arrive because all, of course, contracted to Monday nights. The NXT Champion. As then it is time for some Chase U exhibition matchups. Chase U make their way out to the ring. All of them come down because we've got a few. Andre Chase and Bodhi Hayward are going to be in action, so they're in the ring. Thea's at ringside, you know, with the blowhorn, you know, the megaphone. There you go. Malik Blade and Edris Nofe there as well, of course. It's Chase U versus, I want to get this right, it's a couple local talents known as Bob Daggett and Rob Saget. And in the end, Chase U do pick up the victory. Andre Chase pins Rob Saget on way to victory for 26 is fine. 20 Bodhi, 37 Andre, nice work. Brought the crowd down, obviously, but got to build these guys up. The Saget and Daggett combo got a 29 and a 26. Decent. Fine. Andre Chase and Bodhi Hayward get things to a good start in the Chase U exhibition showcases. Chase says that he hopes his students were watching plenty of teachable moments in that matchup right there, and hopefully they were, because they've arranged for another exhibition matchup right now for you. Points at Thea Hail. Thea Hail very, very overexcited. Thea Hail about that one. Thea Hail getting the ring for her match against a local talent called Nicholas Holt, I believe, and Thea Hail does pick up the win. All hail 18. Christ, Thea Hail got a 27 though, which is alright. Nicole Holt probably brought down quite a bit with her 18. But we take Thea Hail. Thea Hail got a 27, and that's fine. That's stuff you can build on. Chase U just getting some exhibition matches to show what they can do. Get them on screen. Then we go backstage to, Randy Orton in the locker room. In walks MJF. I'm just asking Orton how he is. And Orton saying he doesn't know why MJF did what he did, but he wanted to thank him anyway. Okay, he didn't have to shove him out the way. Randy says he's taken so many spears, even from Edge specifically, throughout his career, but thank you, MJF, nonetheless. And MJF saying that, hey, look, you're Randy Orton, okay? You're a legend. In a way, I guess I look up to you a little bit. Being in the ring with you like that, teaming with you even, and taking that spear for you was the least I can do for everything you've done in this business. In walks Matt Riddle, and Matt Riddle, what's up, bros? Randy, I just wanted to thank you. Stallion Pete's not here right now, but I just wanted to thank you on his behalf. Speaking up for him earlier, that was like a really cool thing for you to do, bro. Real nice. Randy's saying it's fine. It's fine, I'm always going to speak my mind. I'm always going to say what I believe and what I think's right. Then walks off and like, hey guys, what are we talking about, huh? We talking about how great Randy is? Love that. My favorite type of conversation. Randy rolling his eyes. This is a bit too many people maybe. And Randy saying, Fury, can I help you with anything? And Fury saying, really glad you asked, actually. I got a match later tonight, and it would just mean so much to me if you, Randy Orton, a legend, okay, my hero, personally, could just watch and, let me know what you think, okay? For a 91, Randy Orton. Randy Orton, what's the word I'm looking for? Doesn't play well with others, generally, but God, he is inundated with people right now, isn't he? It's like his own personal hell, but he's become a lot friendlier with old age, hasn't he? Old age is, God, I can't call Randy Orton old, because then I'm old. As then we go to the ring for a final Chase U showcase of the night, and it is Edris Enofe. And another local talent gets the ring, but Edris gets the mic and says no. Like, thank you, Mr. Chase, for preparing this, but look, I worked hard to get my first win at SummerSlam against Apollo Crews, and I did. Now it's thanks to your teaching and my hard work and determination and all of it. And no offense to you, kid, I don't want to fight you tonight. I want a challenge. I want to show that I still got it, that I ain't lost a step in these 5 weeks. So anyone back there want to come down here and get in the ring right now, let's do it. Out comes Damian Priest, who had a lot less of a nice SummerSlam. The Archer of Infamy lost his Hardcore Championship to Gunther, of course, at the biggest party of the summer. Edris Enofe versus Damian Priest. Damian Priest getting a lot of anger out, it feels like, against Edris Enofe here. But Edris Enofe not giving up, kicking out of like a 2.9, getting close. Damian Priest lifts him up for a chokeslam, but Edris Enofe manages to roll and kind of flip around the body and roll Priest up for a 1, 2, 3. Edris Enofe, another shocking victory over a big superstar. Beat Apollo Crews at SummerSlam, and now a massive win against Damian Priest with that roll up for a 52. Pretty good matchup considering how angry Damian Priest was about this, to be honest with you. 66 Priest, 32 Enofe, we take those. As yeah, Edris Enofe gets a big victory. Chase U very much celebrating. Andre, Malik, Bodhi, Thea all in the ring to celebrate Edris, just like at SummerSlam. Edris very happy, gets on the turnbuckle, pumping his fist, very happy, gets down right into a big boot from Damian Priest. Absolutely drops him. Andre Chase, not happy, steps towards Priest, screaming. Damian Priest just shoves him out the way. Bodhi Hayward steps in. Priest and Bodhi butting heads. Thea trying to pull Bodhi back. Bodhi, not letting her before Damian Priest with a big hit to Bodhi as well, taking him down. Thea checking on Bodhi. Malik checking on Andre Chase. Damian turning his attention to Edris. He picks him up and he tosses him out the ring. Thea Hail leaving Bodhi and going out to try and stop Priest, but not much she can do. Just kind of begging with Priest as Priest picks up Edris Enofe, and he does hit that chokeslam through the announcer's table. I've phrased it here, absolutely murking Edris Enofe for an 84. Good segment. Masterful work of improvising interactions with the crowd as they booed the ever-living hell out of you, Damian Priest. Well done. Lovely. As then we go backstage to R-Truth, very happy, reunited with his baby, the 24/7 championship, of course. Walking around in a happy mood. When he stops, he bumps into 2 people. And he says, who are you? I haven't seen you around here. And introduce themselves as Masse and Massois. And R-Truth says those are funny names, but hey, I've just been walking down backstage here, going to people, just warning them, okay? Because I've seen some real low life, some real perverts around these parts recently. I don't want anybody to get lost out, okay? So what are you 2 guys doing here? Masse and Massois say that they're models. And R-Truth saying, models? Ain't you a bit too big to be models? Mason Massois saying, excuse us? R-Truth saying, yeah, because when I play with models, they only like this tall, and then you're just like pushing them around the board, and you're like a wizard, like a soldier or something, And Mace and Massois saying, no, not that kind of model you see. And before they can explain, walks around the corner, Trick Williams, and R-Truth just starts screaming, pervert, there he is, there's that guy who was talking about his Tricky Willie to me in the closet last week. And Trick telling him, whoa, calm down. Turning to Marseille and Mansell, like, they got a look of what the hell on their face, and he's like, it wasn't like that, guys, it wasn't like that, I promise. Now listen, Okay, Truthy baby. You just gotta calm down. Truth's getting a bit, just wants to kind of get out over his baby, get his baby away from that pervert, Tries to go, but he's stopped by Marseille and Mansoir, just kind of like, sorry. When Trick Williams rolls him up for a 1, 2, 3. Trick Williams, the new 24/7 champion. R-Truth on the floor, very upset. Trick Williams with the towel, quickly hurrying, let's get out of here, come on. Marseille and Mansoir following, and they're like, why did we have to do that? And Trick Williams saying, why do we have to... Boys, let me explain to y'all something. You see, the ladies, they love some gold round the waist. Now, trust me, Tricky knows what the ladies like. And the big booty baddies specifically, they do love that gold. Now, boys, let's go catch my white whale. For 48. Trick Williams wins the 24/7 title. God, I will just put him on every show possible. I'm just a big fan. Trick Williams wins the back to 24/7 title. R-Truth very sad. He could not stop the pervert backstage from talking about his Tricky Willie today. Unlucky Truthy baby. For 48. Good segment though. Good segment. As then we go to the ring for another match. It's Austin Theory versus Robert Roode. Theory in action. Will Randy Orton be watching? I'll let you have a guess about that one. But in the end, it is Robert Roode picks up the win with the glorious DDT for a 71. Yeah, good match. 69 Theory, very nice. 66 Roode, decent. Didn't click at all, but that's okay. Theory defeated by Roode here. Lovely, 71, good. Then we go to a video in a gym showing some extremely intense workouts from the Hurt Business. MVP narrating it. MVP saying that his Hurt Business been away. They've been training. They've been working hard so they can properly inflict the hurt when they get back. Saying about how this training regime working like this, maybe it wasn't for everyone. Maybe it broke some people who want to go around talking about their big booty. Well, guess what? We want to take your ass somewhere over there where you can just shut your dumb ass up. Because MVP's talking and his Hurt Business about to do the walking and the talking on Monday nights. For an 81, Hurt Business ready, training like their lives depend on it, ready to take over Monday Night Raw. Good. I had to at least acknowledge the fact that, Mace is... Dio Madden's not here and instead Marseille is with the big booty baddies. Speaking of... Well, no one was speaking of it. Earlier, speaking of Drew McIntyre's Intercontinental, we have a little qualifier. For that Fatal 4-Way featuring Triple H's chosen Andrade and Matt Riddle. Matt Riddle very unhappy about Stallion Pete's the Stallion King Pete Dunne's treatment by Triple H. Getting a chance to get some anger out against one of Triple H's chosen superstars in Andrade. Riddle versus Andrade here. Cole and Balor at ringside, as in the end maybe they provide a bit of a distraction on Andrade's way to victory with a handful of ties as well for a 96 though. Incredible. Both get 95, 96 overall. What a banger. Andrade and Matt Riddle both just killing it in ring whenever they're in there. No psychology until a 96 we move. After the match, Balor and Cole get in the ring and they start beating down on Matt Riddle. You don't talk about us like that. That we run this show. Andrade joining in. When out rushes MJF. And MJF storms down to the ring, steel chair in hand, unloads onto the back of Andrade, onto the back of Balor. Cole gets out before he can do the same. And Andrade, Cole and Balor just go up the ramp whilst Andrade's, Riddle's on the floor and MJF steel chair in hand, watching them leave for a 100. Very good. MJF is such a nice guy. I'm sure we'd all agree. Nicest guy on the planet, MJF, making a save there for Riddle. As Den cuts commercial, come back, out comes Toxic Attraction. With all the gold, Women's Tag Champs and NXT Women's Champ come down and say that they run this show now. They run not just this show, but Wednesday night. Saying that when the draft comes up, it won't be about if Mandy Rose will be drafted. It will be about when. Because Raw, NXT, hell, even SmackDown, they'll all be salivating at the opportunity to pick up Toxic Attraction, the hottest act in WWE. Well, now comes Io. Io Sky Women's World Champion. She's not happy. Saying Mandy got in her business. Mandy got involved. Saying she was going to win that triple threat. But instead, Mandy got involved and cost her it. And Mandy's saying that, oh, honey, no, look, if you can't hang with the big girls, you know, then maybe you should go back to your kiddie table for a while, huh? You know, very much not happy about that. Out comes Alexa Bliss and Kairi Sane, also not happy, saying, you know, Gigi and JC would like lead weight in that match, and saying that Mandy obviously too busy probably thinking about cashing in later to care about the women's tag match at Bragging Rights. Mandy saying she carried that team as far as she could. There's only so far you can carry, you know, waste of space like Bliss and Sane. Bliss and Sane very much not happy. Io Sky's just walked off because, God, she can't be bothered for this. The kingpin she is. Match next up, Bliss and Sane versus Gigi and JC for an 83. Mandy at ringside to watch on as Bliss and Sane pick up the victory. Bliss managing to hit Jane with Twisted Bliss on way to victory. Another big victory. Bliss and Sane pick up as a team. An unlikely duo working very, very well with great chems, amazingly. 73 for the match. 77 Sane. Both teams are so in sync. Sane and Bliss both got 77s. Toxic both got 49s. So in sync. As Bliss and Sane, shall we say, do get the win. And Mandy, not very happy about that. As then we go to Caleb Braxton, who catches up to Damian Priest before he leaves, asking about his actions earlier tonight, attacking Edris Enofe. And Damian Priest says that, you know, since he lost the Hardcore Championship to Gunther, and has seen him discard it like it meant nothing, a title that meant so much to him, his first title here, it's got him thinking about his place, about what is next for Damian Priest. And he says that being nice only got him so far. So maybe it's time for Damian Priest to show another side of himself. Maybe it's time that Damian Priest turned his attention somewhere else. Maybe it's time the Archer of Infamy took on a new target for a 94. Strong words from Damian Priest. Not very happy. Pissed is the word I'd go for. About everything going on tonight and otherwise. As then we stay backstage and we go to the general manager's office. And Drake Maverick and William Regal are arguing. Ridge Holland's there. Maybe Drake Maverick gets a bit too into it. Ridge Holland steps in. Drake realizes that's not a good idea. Regal stops him. Triple H walks in. What the hell is going on? They're still arguing about Mandy Rose and what her win means. Triple H says, okay, enough. Okay? Listen, the way I see it, Drake, you and Raw have a champion that did not compete at Bragging Rights. And Regal, you and NXT have a champion that did not compete at Bragging Rights. So let's do it like this. Gunther versus Roderick Strong. The winner, well, their show can have the second pick in the WWE draft. For a 96. Big announcement from Triple H. Gunther from Raw, Strong from SmackDown. Imperium versus the Diamond Mine, where the winning member will get their brand, the second pick in the WWE draft. Good. As then, this part, God, this episode's going to be long, isn't it? We go to the main event to hopefully speed things up a little. Randy Orton and Seth Rollins, the winner, gets a WWE Championship match against Kevin Owens. And Orton and Rollins going for each other here. So much history, adding to it, Orton not, disgusted by Rollins' actions at Bragging Rights. And Orton and Rollins fighting it out. Rollins getting the upper hand, going, setting up, waiting for Orton to get up to hit a curb stomp. When Pete Dunne's music hits. And Pete Dunne begins to walk down the ramp. Seth Rollins in the ring saying, come on then. Not like that because he's American. Like, come on. Probably not like that either. Pete Dunne starts to get to the ring, stops at the bottom of the ramp, though. Seth telling him to get in. Seth forget about you, then turns around. RKO. 1, 2, 3. Randy Orton picks up the victory and picks up the number one contendership to the WWE Championship for a 95. Another really good match. 86 Orton. 100 from Seth Rollins. Of course, they have great chemistry and it showed, of course. Seth Rollins put on a perfect performance, but Pete Dunne cost him the victory as Randy Orton earns his match against Kevin Owens for that WWE title. After the match, Triple H and Kevin Owens come out onto the ramp. Rollins out the ring, going up with them. Pete Dunne going around and grabbing a mic before getting in the ring with Randy Orton. And Pete Dunne says, listen, right, Seth, you want to get in my business? Triple H, I probably should have known that you wouldn't be playing fair. Well, guess what? Seth, I'm coming for you now. You know, crowd cheering, and then Randy holds his hands out, asks for the mic, and Pete hands it to him, and he says, "Oh, Hunter, thank you for this opportunity. You're right that your people always get just what they want. But you know what, Hunter? Something I've realized is that maybe that's not the best way to do things. And so you know what, Hunter? I am going to come to your table, and I'm gonna burn it to the ground." For a 100, good end to the show, brilliant main event, and then Pete Dunne saying he's coming for Seth, and Randy Orton officially turning down Triple H's offer to join his Chosen, and saying that instead of joining it, he will destroy it. And you have to think a big way of doing that will be taking that WWE title from Kevin Owens in their match. But overall, this episode of Raw gets us a 95, really good episode. Some really good matches. Andrade Riddle 96, 95 for Orton and Seth. Seth getting 100. You know, plenty of chase huge, getting to show themselves, bringing them into the show a little bit, some exhibition matches. Big win for Edris. Priest heel turn. R-Truth loses the title to Trick Williams and all the fun stuff in there. So much has gone on this show. God, this has been very long though, and so I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Raw. And so let's continue things very quickly before I ramble on even more, because I can feel it coming, with the fallout of bragging rights going on another episode of NXT. And the show gets underway with the NXT North American Champion Isaiah Swerve Scott making his way out to the ring. And Isaiah says that at bragging rights, NXT came up short. They didn't win. You know, we don't know if they're coming first, for second, or third. Gunnar and Roddy gonna fight that out. All I know is that I did my job. I got in that ring with my championship against the Intercontinental Champion Drew McIntyre and the United States Champion Tyler Breeze, and I did my job. Cause I stomped McIntyre, I pinned McIntyre 1, 2, 3, and I put NXT on the board. And hell, maybe if some lesser champions around here could pull their part, NXT could have walked away victorious, but no, instead, Swerve won. I feel like showing exactly what I've been telling y'all all this time. NXT is, will be, was, always gonna be Swerve's house. When he's interrupted by the Golden Gods, of course, NXT Champion LA Knight and the Cruiserweight Tag Team Champions Alfonso Bourbon and Socrates Torres. And LA Knight saying, nah. You can talk about your bragging rights, that show don't mean a damn thing. Because no matter what happens, at any event, the truth remains exactly the same. NXT belongs to the Golden Gods. NXT belongs to LA Knight. And so I'm saying that LA, you're good. Not good enough to win a bragging rights, but you're good. And you're the NXT champion. And maybe that makes you top dog around here. I don't know. What I do know, though, is ain't gonna matter anyway. Because we're in October now. 1 month away from November. About 8 weeks away from Survivor Series. And when Survivor Series comes around, I'm gonna cash in this championship that I've been carrying around to make this the best championship this show got. And I'm gonna hand it to William Regal. And at Survivor Series, I'm gonna get in that ring against you. Or hell, maybe you'll lose again. Come Halloween Havoc, and I'll fight someone else, I don't care, but I will get in that ring, and I will walk out NXT champion. I will give that champion a champion that it deserves. For 100, so making it very clear, Survivor Series, he's coming for LA Knight. Golden Gods clearly disagreeing. Later on, main event, Alpha Swerve Scott, a North American champion, taking on 1/2 of Spanish Fly, 1/3 of the Golden Gods, 1/2 of the Cruiserweight Tag Team Champions, Socrates Torres. For that 100, very good opening segment. Very good. As then we're kicking off the show with Dominic Mysterio taking on Ace Austin. Just a good match going on at it. Ace Austin gets the other hand. He goes up to the top rope, but out of nowhere, Humberto Carrillo jumps onto the apron. The referee going over to stop him. He starts undoing the top turnbuckle, but the referee going over to stop him. Zelina out on the ramp, and out of nowhere, Santos Escobar jumps over the apron. The barricade, shall I say, onto the apron and shoves Ace Austin off the top rope. Ace Austin confused by all of it. Ace Austin going down, Dominic getting to his feet, Legado already down, and then, Santos quickly going around the ring up the ramp, Humberto dropping off the apron and going up the ramp as well, both with smiles on their faces as Dominic gets to his feet Ace doing the same. Ace going for Dominic. Dominic tripping him up and hitting him with a 619 for a 1-2-3. Dominic Mysterio coming out on top with for 73 actually, pretty good. 57 Dom, 69 Ace Austin, very nice. As Ace Austin is defeated and Dominic Mysterio comes out on top after a little bit of help from maybe a surprising source in Legado. Had some very kind words to say about Dominic last week, and now this. As then, we have a promo. We have a promo from the one and only Malcolm Bivens of the Diamond Mine. He's Diamond Mine with him, Roderick Strong, Taz, the Crew Brothers, and Ivy Nile. And Malcolm Bivens saying that, well. Look who comes begging back to the Diamond Mine, begging back to Roderick Strong. Malcolm Bivens saying that he told Regal he'd come begging back to him after he left Roderick Strong off the team that got destroyed at bragging rights. He said if his boy Roderick Strong was there, NXT could have won. But instead, here they are having a fight again. But don't worry, because Roderick Strong will do exactly what he would have done at bragging rights, and he will carry NXT to victory. And he says, Gunter, Walter, whatever you want to call your fat ass, it don't matter. Roderick Strong is going to beat yo ass. For an 82, Malcolm Bivens saying Roderick Strong's going to give a preview of that next up against a bit of a local talent named Algernon Donnelly. Roderick Strong obviously comes out on top for a 63. Death by Roderick. Derek. 63, about what you expect. 81 Roderick, 7 Algernon Donnelly off his game, and he didn't have much of a game to begin with. Sorry, Algernon. He's Canadian as well. I've never heard that name. We move. Roderick Strong looked excellent there, so who cares? Roderick Strong comes out on top. A preview of what's to come against Gunter. Maybe. As Kayla Braxton backstage now interviewing Dominic, asking about earlier his match with Ace Austin. Dominic's in a good mood. He's won a match. And Kayla asking him about the finish. Did he know? Why did Legado help him? And Dominic saying, Kayla, you're getting bummed down by these things that don't matter. All that matters is, I won. Okay, that's what we should be focusing on. I won the match. I beat Ace Austin, okay? Because I have this legendary wrestling blood through my veins and I won, and you want to focus on that? Really, Kayla? And Legado walking in saying, yeah, Kayla, what are you doing? Zelina taking the lead and saying, Dominic here, he is bound of potential. Saying that Dominic's been disrespected so much over these recent weeks, saying he should have been at bragging rights, just like Legado should have been. And maybe then NXT could have won, but no. Saying that Ray, Dominic's own father, didn't trust him and didn't believe in him to do it, and look what happened to Ray. Dominic just staring at her. When Ray walks in, very much not happy. Going over to Dom first, saying about earlier, like, what the hell was that? Did you know about that? And then seeing Legado telling them to get the hell out. They're arguing with them, goes to argue with Zelina, and Burton starts stepping in between as well. Ray not happy. Dominic shaking his head and walking away from it. Ray, son, starts walking and then turns back to Legado and says and tells them, stay away from my son. Before following after Dominic, as Legado stand there smiling for a 71. Good. Nice little segment. A lot going on, but good segment. As then out comes Toxic Attraction. Toxic come out to celebrate. Gigi and JC, the women's tag champs. Mandy Rose, the NXT women's champion. Mandy says that Toxic Attraction run WWE and run NXT now. They have all the gold. Now no one can touch them. How they barely spend a day here and they're already in charge like this. When out comes to disagree, Next Gen, Candice, Cora, and Roxanne. Saying that Mandy does not run NXT, okay? She can have that championship she got, unfairly. And Gigi and JC can be the women's tag champs, but doesn't mean they run NXT. And Mandy saying that, oh, Candice, oh, honey, I know what this is. This is because you have been here on this show for what? 6, 7, 8 years, and you have nothing to show for it. Whilst I barely stepped foot on this show. I don't know if I ever did, and now I'm running it. Oh, Candice. Oh, honey, no. No, okay, jealousy is not a good thing. Okay? You might never be toxic attraction, but that's not your fault. Some people are just born with it. Candice not taking too kindly to that. Neither Cora and Roxanne, her two mentees over here. For an 80, very good segment. A little match next up between Gigi and Roxanne. A battle of, yeah, we got a team, so why not? Gigi versus Roxanne. And in the end, it is Roxanne who comes out on top. There's some arguments at ringside. Mandy and Candice going at it. Cora and Jace trying to separate them and start going at it as well. Gigi and Roxanne are a bit distracted. Gigi goes for Roxanne. Roxanne out the way. Roll up. 1, 2, 3. 57. Good. Decent little match. 53 Roxanne. 50 Gigi. We take that. Gigi Dolan defeated. Roxanne Perez pins one half the women's tag champs. And Next Gen do come out on top over Toxic Attraction here. Nice. Nice. We keep things rolling. Next up with, what do we have? We go to William Regal with the announcement from him confirming that the NXT men's and women's breakout tournaments are back. Last year we just had the men's, an 8-man tournament, won by the fabulous Frederick Fairchild, who beat Bronson Reed in the final to win that contract, to win that title match, which he used on Chad Gable for the NXT North American title, and he lost. He announces that they're back. He says starting next month, week 1 in November, it's going to run for 8 weeks because it's going to be 16 men and 16 women. Yeah, names to be announced. Got some big names planned. 16 men, 16 women. They runs for 8 weeks, November 1st, ending week 4, December at NXT Takeover, probably War Games, with both finals there for that championship contract for a 60. Good little announcement. Still, if there's still any names you want to see, and if you didn't see the Give Me Challenges video, then feel free to comment down below any names you want to see in the men's or women's tournaments. There are still spaces available. As then next up, we go to a match between Casey Catanzaro and Toni Storm. Toni Storm, just give her a go out here. Against Casey, Toni Storm does come out on top with a Storm 0 for a 63. Good match, 56 Toni, 49 Casey. Happy with that. It is Toni Storm who comes out victorious here over Casey Catanzaro. She gets the win. She gets her arm raised. Everybody knows that Tricky like them hotties, so if they rollin' with Tricky, that must mean they got the body. And everybody says Tricky's taste is extra exquisite because his big booty baddies are looking extra delicious. Yeah. When then comes out Trick Williams, Masse and Massois, standing on the ramp, but Trick coming down to the ring, rubbing his hands, licking his lips a little bit. He takes his time, he goes to walk in, but he says no. He starts walking around the ring. Toni Storm just watching him. Trick moving, peering around on the ring post to go behind view of Toni is just like, And Trick getting in the ring, he goes over to Toni and he says, my name is Trick Williams, and I think you got what it takes to be one of my, looks around her again, big booty baddies. Pulls out his credit card and holds it towards her. Toni just looks down at it, looks up at Trick, shakes her head and just walks away. And Trick just in the ring holding not a credit card, holding the business card as Toni goes up the ramp past Marseille and Mansoir, who are both looking at each other like, okay. For 59. Good. I can't remember if I said that Marseille and Mansoir were going to fight tonight. They're not, because I only just remembered. Next week, Marseille and Mansoir can be in action. But yeah, Trick Williams, not going well for him here. Toni Storm turning down his offer, his hunt for his white whale, not off to a good start. For that 59, good. Then we go to an interview. The Golden Gods getting ready to go out. Cody Braxton going over to him, asking them about this match, about Swerve, about bragging rights, saying, let me talk to you, okay? Bragging rights, they don't matter. One match doesn't change the months of things that LA Knight has done. LA Knight was dominating on Friday nights, and then he came here and he took over Wednesdays. And one match or one show ain't changing a single moment of that, yeah. Because I'm still the NXT champion, and Swerve, he can run his mouth. But he's going to get his ass kicked by my boy Socrates here. And then if he wants to go, if he still even got that title, come Survivor Series, then all LA and I will happily put the can of whoop ass on him myself. For 100. Good from LA Knight as always. Just a word of warning for Swerve. Before the main event next up, one half the Cruiserweight Tag Team Champions Socrates Torres taking on the NXT North American Champion Isaiah Swerve Scott. Both men going at it. High-flying matchup, quick-paced. LA and Alfonso at ringside to watch as in the end, Swerve manages to hit the Swerve Stomp and pick up the win. They had great chemistry. That's lovely. 90 for the match. Lovely. Both got 88s. Very evenly matched. Very lovely. Swerve comes out on top over Socrates Torres here. After the match, LA Knight and Alfonso Warman quickly in the ring and start attacking Swerve, start beating him down. And Alfonso Warman looking to teach him a lesson. LA Knight telling Alfonso to get him up. Get him up. Alfonso starts to lift him up. You know, LA Knight holding him by the face and talking to him, saying, I'm going to show you right now what happens when you step to the Golden Guard, LA Knight. LA Knight grabbing him, ready to hit the BFT. When yes, out flies Jonathan Gargano. Johnny Gargano rushes down to the ring, straight into it. Alfonso goes for a clothesline. Johnny ducks, super kick. Johnny and LA Knight fighting out. LA Knight goes for a clothesline. Johnny, who ducks and then super kicks him out the ring for a 100. Golden Gods retreat up the ramp. Knight, Bourbon and Thaddeus, whilst Johnny helps Swerve to his feet. And the pair both stare down LA Knight and Golden Gods for a 100. Very good. Good main event, good post, good show overall, I think. The fallout of Bragging Right episode of NXT gets us this 93 here. A lot of good stuff going on, and it featured Trick Williams in any capacity, which is a good thing. But that is it for NXT. Without further ado, one more show in this episode, and so let's jump to it, shall we? It's time for another edition of Smackdown. And Smackdown gets underway with Roman Reigns, the Universal Champion, coming out to the ring. He comes out with Paul Heyman and Jey Uso. Other members of the Roman Empire aren't here. Braun Breaker, Solo Sikoa, the Von Erichs aren't here. It's just Roman Reigns, Jey Uso, and Paul Heyman. Roman Reigns comes out to the ring, and Roman Reigns is smiling. Roman Reigns is in a good mood. And he says, Wise man, can you tell me what happened at Bragging Rights? And he holds the mic to Paul Heyman, and Paul Heyman leans in, and he says, Smackdown won, my tribal chief. And Roman says, oh yes they did. You see, last year Smackdown got destroyed at Bragging Rights, not a single point on the board. But now the tribal chief is in charge. Now the head of the table is sitting where he should, at the head of that table. Smackdown's on top. Smackdown's the top dogs. And I'm a gracious tribal chief. And congratulations are due when they're due. So congratulations to Paige, to Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, and Liv Morgan for getting the job done. Congratulations to The Fiend and Karrion Kross for getting the job done. And congratulations to me for carrying this show on my back into getting the job done. Now you see, it wasn't all good. It wasn't 6 points Smackdown, none to anyone else. No. Because it turns out Smackdown, we got some losers in our ranks. Tyler Breeze, the dead weight, carrying around that U.S. title. Lost. Becky Lynch, the man, she says. Lost. And then in the men's tag team match, I watched my own boys, Braun Breaker and Solo Sikoa, lose. And I watched the Judgment Day lose. I watched Edge, the man who stood in this ring and said he would win. Who said he'd win and then take this title from me? I watched him lose too. Because you see, you can't count on everyone in this world. You can only count on one person, and that's yourself. And you see, the failures in my ranks They know what they done. They know what they gotta do to make things right. But me, I'm gonna slide over my lands, my kingdom, my show, my company, my business. 'Cause Roman Reigns, the tribal chief, the head of the table, that is what's best for business. When Roman Reigns is interrupted by the Judgment Day. Judgment Day. Coming out, Edge, Ciampa, and Black, and Edge saying that, you know, bragging rights didn't go how we wanted. They didn't win. Okay, and maybe Roman can be angry about that, but the truth of the matter remains that Edge is taking that Universal Championship from Roman Reigns. Roman not looking happy. He looks up at Edge and he goes to talk when Jey Uso steps forward, saying, "Edge, you don't talk to the tribal chief like that, fool. You don't talk like that." Jey not happy. Roman just glaring over at Jey. Edge kind of laughing as Jey goes forward to butt heads with Edge when Ciampa steps in between. And Edge says that, "Well, how about this, huh? You got your boy Roman, and I got mine. So why don't we let them handle things, and then at Halloween Havoc, just know I'm still coming to take that championship from you." For 100, the Judgment Day walk away. Roman not looking very happy, but he has a hot new catchphrase. God, his catchphrase is "acknowledge me." So think a variation on that, perhaps. Before next up, we have a tag team match. We have a couple local talents in the ring. A couple brothers by the name of Barbie and Robbie Roundhole. And their opponents are revealed to be the former SmackDown Tag Team Champions, Braun and Samoa Joe, coming back first appearance since SummerSlam just over a month ago. They come down to the ring, and Reed and Joe, of course, absolutely destroy Barbie and Robbie Roundhole here for a 68. Samoa Joe submits Robbie Roundhole with a Coquina clutch. 82 Ronson Reed, 77 Joe, 29 and 27 from Barbie and Robbie respectively. Great performance by Ronson Reed, really stood out. Reed and Joe get the win, and afterwards they get the mic, and they just make it very clear they're coming to take back their SmackDown tag titles from The Fiend and Karrion Kross no matter what. Make it very clear. Good. As then, next up, outcome, Toxic Attraction coming out to the ring. Mandy Rose, the NXT Women's Champion, and the Women's Tag Team Champions, Gigi Dolan and JC Jane. They make their way out. And Mandy says she just wanted to say a final goodbye to SmackDown for Paige. She knows how much the fans must have appreciated seeing Mandy Rose week in and week out here. But now she's NXT Women's Champion. She has to... You know how it can be. She has to watch over her show. She's the star. She's the special attraction that people are going to go to NXT to see, and so the SmackDown fans want to see her, and that's where they should go. And he's saying she just wants to take one last look. Of course, interrupted by a Miss Becky Lynch, the Women's Universal Champion. Becky coming out. Becky's still a bit banged up from her match last week and from bragging rights, but Becky's coming out and saying that, you know, she's not happy. Mandy got in the way, got involved in their match, and Mandy came out on top. Congratulations. But Becky says, you cashing in to steal a win in a fatal four-way doesn't make you better, because the fact of the matter remains that Becky Lynch is the man. Becky Lynch is the Women's Universal Champion. For 100, Becky very angry, making the challenge. Mandy very cocky, seeing the beat up Becky, happily accepting. Mandy versus Becky here, one-on-one. Mandy and Becky going at it. Mandy trying to take advantage of Becky's injuries, you know, in a lot of pain in the chest, bandaged up a bit. But Becky fighting back into it, you know, getting the upper hand. She gets the disarmer onto Mandy Rose. Mandy reaching for the ropes, can't get there. And that's where Gigi and JC come in and attack Becky Lynch. 87 for the match. Jesus Christ. 90 Becky Lynch. 81 Mandy Rose. Mandy Rose getting 81s now. Good on ya. Good on ya. Becky Lynch gets the win by DQ. Gigi and JC in the ring attacking her. Mandy clutching her arm, but then gets to her feet and joins in the attack on Becky Lynch. And at that point, out rushes the Team Smackdown women's members, the $1 Million champion Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, Liv Morgan, and Paige. All rush out to the ring. Toxic Attraction very quickly getting out of there and going through the crowd as Rhea, Bianca, Liv, and Paige in the ring fought them off for a 100. Team SmackDown's women's working very well together, you know, and it's stacked, isn't it? Becky's your champion. You got Rhea, Bianca, Liv, and Paige here. You got people like Deonna and that, Charlotte. SmackDown really is a stacked women's division. 100 for that though. Very good match and a good post as well. As then we go backstage to the Roman Empire's locker room, to Roman Reigns in his nice comfy chair, Paul Heyman by his side, Jey Uso talking. Jey Uso saying about, you know, what he's going to do later to Tommaso Ciampa. We're going to beat that fool up. I'm going to destroy him for disrespecting the tribal chief like that. Roman very much not happy, just glares at Jey. Jey eventually notices and stops talking. You know, Roman just laughing a bit. Jey asking what's funny. And Roman saying, what's funny? What's funny, Jey? You're funny. You're funny, Jey. What you call yourself, huh? Main Event Jey Uso, huh? That's the name I gave you, isn't it? But you ain't won in how long, huh? Walking around here calling yourself Main Event Jey Uso. But you just keep failing your tribal chief. You keep failing me. And now Main Event Jey Uso can't even get in the main event anymore. So what's that make you, huh? What's that make you, huh? You Midcard Jey Uso now? You think Midcard Jey Uso deserves to be in my Roman Empire? Is that it? And Jey Uso saying to Roman that things ain't been going well, but, you know, he's not the only one failing around here. What about Solo? What about Braun? What about the Von Erichs? All those. And Roman saying, what about them, Jey? This isn't about them. Where's Solo? Solo's getting work done for me right now. Just like he would have done last week. In taking that United States Championship off that loser Tyler Breeze if you didn't step in and get your ass beat instead. And where's Braun? Braun got what, 3-4 eliminations at bragging rights? But he lost. He came to me. He said he knows that's not good enough. He could get 15 eliminations. If he's losing, I don't care. And so he's doing the job as well. He's getting work done. He's not standing around here complaining. He's not standing around here talking about what he's going to do. He's going out and doing it, Jey. So that's what you got to do. Tonight you're fighting Tommaso Ciampa. And you need to get the job done, Jey. You need to go out there and prove that at heart you're still my main event, Jey Uso. Because if you're not, if you're just mid-card Jey Uso now, then what good are you, Jey? For a 100. Roman really laying into Jey Uso there, huh? Very good though. As then we cut to Solo Sikoa getting things done. As we cut to Solo Sikoa and the Von Erichs attacking Tyler Breeze, the United States Champion. We just cut backstage, the Von Erichs beating down on Tyler Breeze, kicking when he's down. He's trying to get up, but Solo storming in. Solo telling him to hold him up in the end. The Von Erichs holding up Tyler Breeze against like a metal sliding grate. And then Solo with a super kick to Tyler Breeze, ending things here. Laying. Oh, for a 74, pretty decent actually, pretty decent. Tyler Breeze gets taken out by Solo and the Von Erichs here. Before we cut to Braun Breaker, trying to make amends as well. Braun Breaker maybe getting some aggression out after his loss as well. Up next against some local talent in a 1-on-3 handicap match, really looking to get aggression out. The names are Emery Barson, Michael Brandon, and Reet Hazel. Those are the names. 3-on-1. And Braun Breaker destroys Emery Barson. Takes him out, you know. He does the power... God, the bench press power slam. I can never remember what it's called. And he tosses him into the corner, and Michael Brandon tags himself in very reluctantly and gets in, and Braun Breaker destroys him as well. Bench press power slam, and then tosses Brandon in the corner to Reet Hazel. You know, Emery Barson just on the outside, out cold. Reed Hazel looking down at Michael Brandon, looking up and jumping off the apron and trying to run up the ramp, but Braun out the ring in time. Big clothesline to take down Reed Hazel, tosses him in the ring. Reed Hazel gains his feet. Another big clothesline from Braun, who just picks him up and carries him into the corner, slumps him onto the apron with his arm over the ropes, forces a tag between Hazel and Brandon for tossing Hazel in the ring, kicking Brandon out, hitting the bench press power slam on Hazel, and then going out the ring and dragging Barson and Brandon back in, stacking them up and pinning them 1, 2, 3 as Braun Breaker picks up an incredibly dominant victory and getting his aggression out for a 48. Yeah, 76 Braun, but 24 Reed, 12 Michael, 22 Emery. Bringing it down a bit, but you know what? Pat and Michael are very good. And Paul Heyman did some good work at ringside, and Braun Breaker really stood out, which you'd hope he would. 48, very good. As then we go backstage to Team SmackDown's women's team, you know, all talking together in no one's locker room. Paige, Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, and Liv Morgan. Becky Lynch walks in and thanks them, you know, for the help out there. They say, you know, it's alright, hope you good. And that is when Charlotte Flair walks in, and Becky Lynch saying, where were you? And Charlotte saying, where was I? Where was I? The Queen doesn't show up until she's needed. Okay? You getting your ass kicked by Mandy Rose, that's not my business anymore, I guess. We're not a tag team anymore, Becky. You know, arguing, going on. Paige pointing out how Charlotte was eliminated. Charlotte not very happy, saying it doesn't even matter, that stupid tag match, that proves nothing. Then Becky Lynch saying, okay, enough of this, okay? Look, I'm Women's Universal Champ. Halloween Havoc coming up. I need a contender. So how about tonight? Later on. Fatal 4-way. You all did so well at bragging rights, you know. Belair, Morgan, Ripley, Paige. The winner can fight me. They're all very happy. Charlotte, not happy. Is saying, excuse me? And Charlotte walks up to Becky face to face, and Charlotte says, I'd like to think, after what you did at SummerSlam to us, you owe me. And Becky saying, you know what, Charlotte, fine. It can be a fatal 5-way. Just trying to make sure you don't get pinned in 10 seconds this time, huh? For a 98. Good. Big main event. Belair, Morgan, Ripley, Paige, Charlotte, fatal 5-way, #1 contention match for the Women's Universal title. Good. Lovely. Hopefully it will be good. Hopefully. But for now, next up we have, hopefully still main event Jey Uso versus Tommaso Ciampa. Roman makes it very clear. Jey, get the job done. Can he? Against Tommaso Ciampa at the Judgment Day? We'll find out. Jey Uso, Ciampa. In the end, Paul Heyman at ringside for Jey, Edge and Black at ringside for Ciampa. And in the end, it's Ciampa who hits Project Ciampa and gets to win for an 87. Good match. 92 Tommaso, 73 Jey. Very good match, actually. But it's Ciampa who comes out on top. Paul Heyman at ringside. You know, rubbing his head in his hands. Shakes his head and just walks away as Jey Uso's down. Jey Uso defeated again. And Judgment Day get the win over the Roman Empire here. As then we go to the Firefly Funhouse. We're really glad that you're our friend. And Bray is very, very happy. He says, hi friends. I hope you last weekend at Bragging Rights we made some new friends. Adam Cole, Finn Balor, Alfonso, Socrates, and we had so much fun playing with you. But now, our old friends Bronson Reed and Samoa Joe seem like they want to play again. Isn't that right? Turning to Scarlet the Witch, who's smiling and nodded. Cool Kid Kevin there as well. And Bray Wyatt says, oh, Bronson and Joe, if you want to play again, but then Ramblin' Rabbit pops up. Ramblin' Rabbit's, you know, rambling on, talking about how, I know, well, bros, you see Bragging Rights? Bragging Rights was so cool. Oh my god, you guys, like the Fiend and Karrion Kross, like, totally destroyed and dominated those other guys. That was so cool, that was so amazing, just rambling on. Bray Wyatt trying to talk, and then he just stops. And the smile slowly drops on his face. as he turns to look at Rambling Rabbit. Rambling Rabbit's still rambling on, but then he looks at Bray and he stops. And he says, "I'm sorry. Please. I'm sorry, please. Please." And then there's static. And then the static stops. And it's just on Bray Wyatt's smiling face again. Rambling Rabbit no longer talking. You see in the background Cool Kid Kevin just looking off to the side where Rambling Rabbit was. Scarlet the Witch doing the same with kind of blank looks on their face. As Bray Wyatt says, "Well, anyway, Reed, Joe, if you want to play again, then we would love to play." But that's enough for today. So, bye. See you next time. Bye. For 100. Bray Wyatt doing very well. Very good set. The Funhouse segments are always good, aren't they? Bray Wyatt, Cool Kid Kevin and Scarlet the Witch. As then it's main event time Fatal 5-Way #1 contenders match for the Women's Universal Championship. Bianca Belair, Charlotte Flair, Liv Morgan, Paige, and the $1 million champion Rhea Ripley. In a Fatal 5-Way. All fighting it out. All doing whatever. Trying to come out on top. Trying to get that contendership. In the end, Liv Morgan hits the Liv kick onto Bianca Belair, taking her down. 1, 2. Charlotte breaking the hold. Charlotte going after Liv Morgan. They've had their own little issues up after the last 2 weeks. Charlotte taking out Ilja a few weeks back. You know, beating her and then keeping that figure 4 leg lock on. Liv coming down, them going face to face, butting heads. Charlotte and Liv duking it out, but Charlotte's got the upper hand here. Big boot, locks in the figure 4 on Liv. And Liv stays in the figure 4 for a bit, you know. She doesn't tap out immediately, but in the end, Liv Morgan has no choice but to tap out as Charlotte Flair picks up the victory and earns the contendership. Earns that match with Becky Lynch at Halloween Havoc for an 82. Good little match. 76 Bianca, 76 Charlotte, 74 Rhea, 73 Liv, 65 Paige. All doing okay as Charlotte Flair gets the win. And after the match, Charlotte Flair just keeps that hold on Liv Morgan a little bit more. You know, the bell rings, she's got the win, but she keeps it on for a bit. Not too long, 10, 15 seconds, but then eventually lets go. Liv holding her legs as Charlotte gets to her feet and stands tall here for a 100. Charlotte Flair is the #1 contender for the Women's Universal title as this Fallout episode of Smackdown gets an 89. Very good show. A lot of good matches. Becky Mandy, 87. 87 for Ciampa J. Charlotte winning 5-way, 82 was good. A lot of good segments. Roman Reigns in a lot of this show, but it's Roman's show, isn't it? As this week, looking at the fallout from bragging rights has come to an end, and the road to our next Premium Live events here in a spooky October are underway. I hope that you have all enjoyed. If you have, why don't you leave a like and subscribe for more, hopefully back to weekly uploads now. I'm trying to leave it a bit for everyone to get their challenge suggestions in. And they'll be in the comments. They'll be in the comments if you want to check them out, or if you don't want to check them out and leave the mystery of what is to come, do that as well. But yeah, leave a like if you have enjoyed and subscribe for more. And as always, I just want to say a very special thank you for watching.